Hello traders, welcome to the weekly market overview with me, Pierre at PAFX. I hope you all had a great trading week. We really had a fantastic trading week in my trading room. And of course, those of you who've watching my weekly overview every week probably saw that we've got many levels the right way already last Sunday when I showed you at what level to make business. So yeah, we're hoping to do the same this week again. Let's not forget that we are trading in August, and things may keep going a bit of a sideways now when it's summertime. And talking about summer, I have a fantastic offer for you guys only this month, and that is for our chat room and trading room. So if you go to www.pa-fx.com and goes to courses, PAFX chat room, you will see that we have $20 off first month's by using the coupon code SUMMER. So only this month, if you use this coupon code down here when you do your subscription for the chat room and the trading room, you will get $20 off for the first month, and then it's $39 every month. But trust me, you're gonna get a lots and lots of updates, trade ideas and stuff like that. For those of you who are new to my channel, you probably does not know how much information I do send in this chat room and trading room, and I will give you a little bit of what we're doing each and every day over there. So if we look back for last week, we are up here as you see Thursday, and I think we need to go back much higher to show you all the ideas and the updates I send in the trading room. And as you see, guys, I don't want to scroll up the whole week, but this is Wednesday. Last week, every morning you've got a briefing morning call about what happened during Asian session, stuff like that, to be able to know and understand what are the fundamentals going on, geopoliticals, what happened during the market and what to expect today. And after that, every London session, ahead of London session, I do send these morning updates about the charts we are looking at and what I'm expecting and stuff like that. Sometimes we do send some trade ideas. As you see, Aussie New Zealand, for example, last week went very good. Aussie Jappy still floating somewhere here in the red, no take profit yet over there, but all these guys are still only one morning update. As you see, all these markets you're getting when I do the weekly in the room, I keep sending updates at least 2 or 3 times a day. So as you see up here, we're still talking Thursday the 2nd, and the updates keep coming on what's going on with the trades we are in, and what to do and what to look for. And yeah, here a follow-up, for example, about USD CAD that we've been called to go long, that I just cancelled during that time because we saw that Dixie was going up. So I even send when it's time to cancel trades and stuff like that. And as you see, we keep sending all these information. For example, for the BOE, when we've got the statement, you're gonna get it as soon as possible after the release to be able to read what's going on. And these keep coming during the whole day, what's going on, what's happening, what's happened, and what to expect. As you see, we're still in Thursday here and following the trades one by one, and they keep sending the updates. All this you see now was only for one day, and that's still Thursday the 2nd. What's going on with the Dixie, for example? I do send some bigger time frame updates in the room to show the guys in the room and the girls, we have a lot of girls, what's going on, what to look for, and why things are doing as they do. And here we have the daily wrap after the London session, still in Thursday, where you get also another reading on what happened during the day and what to look for the New York session. Yeah, so we keep following these trades, charts, updates and stuff like that all day. Here we had Friday, the NFP Friday, the same thing here in the morning, morning call with all the related things that you need to know about what happened during Asian session, what to look for. So here we start Friday, and as you see, we start always my morning update early before London session, showing the room what to look for, what to expect, and how to play some charts. As you see here on for example on gold, we was expecting some correction up before the move lower. We've got the move lower last week as expected, but without a big correction up. Here a follow up, for example, on the trade idea I had called in the room, and that we hit take profit, and it was time to re-enter at the weekly R1. They got that as well. Here was another trade idea for Euro New Zealand that we've traded very nicely last Friday. Hit take profit 1 and take profit 2 down here. So that was another idea, but the main idea here is you're gonna get update all the day. You're still in Friday here, as you see, and we keep updating everything, every move in the market to keep helping the room taking the right decision all the time, and to be able to understand what's going on at the moment. Even after a couple of hours, another follow-up to the trades, so everyone can be able to understand what's happening. Another update here on the trade we had, Euro New Zealand, and soon at take profit. As you see, midday, more updates, what happened during the midday. After midday London, we send another update of the fundamentals and what happened during the first part of London session, and another update ahead of New York session. If we have trades as this one, show that Euro New Zealand reached take profit and what to do from here. If a trade still not in profit as Aussie Jappy, also send update and say to the guys and girls what to do, and if it's time to go out of a trade or keep holding. More information keep coming about if anything news happen, and China was reporting a lot of news on Friday, so I always send those in the room as well. And we keep following all the trade we are in, explaining what's going on. And as you see here, when I called that we're gonna retrace to R1 and continue, we've got that as well. And ahead of the news, once again, they start getting information from me on what will happen, when it will happen, what was the results, and what to expect. Even more information here. And yeah, at the end of the Friday session, the weekly wrap, when everyone can read what happened during the week and what to look for next week. And this was my last post for Friday before going for the weekend, talking about the importance of this level when Dixie reached this very, very important area. And that exactly where we're gonna start our session today. So yeah, don't miss out, guys. A very, very cheap price for all these information and help you're gonna get from me in the chat room. For the mentor program, I still have seats left for those who are interested. We still have 4 seats now. Actually, I need to update this. And yeah, our first starting meeting will be tomorrow evening, Europe, and this is the last time we have it for this price tag of 499. With using this coupon, you're gonna get $200 off, and this would be the last time for this price, and the last time we have lifetime subscription. From the next batch on, we're gonna having 6 months room subscription, and for a higher price. So yeah, that was it about what's going on at the PAFX and what are the offers we have right now. So let's take a look at the disclaimer and start our session as usual. So please read this disclaimer and know about the risk involved in trading. This session is only the way I see, and I will trade the market. It's not a signal in any way. Yeah. So we start with the news, and of course always we look at the news every time before, ahead of the week, ahead of the day we're gonna trade at, and ahead of opening any trade. So as you see, on Monday we do have bank holidays for Aussie and Australia and Canada, and not much of a news anyway. Tuesday we have one major impact news from Aussie, RBA rate statement. Then New Zealand inflation expectation, important thing to look at. Another important event is the RBA Governor Lowy speaks, and then New York session, crude oil inventories as usual on Wednesday. And after that, it's all about New Zealand official cash rate. No one expecting a hike, but it's important to see what the policy statement will be, and of course the press conference if there is any change in the bank's language for the monetary policy. Thursday, not much happening. As I said, it is summer and August, and now soon we're gonna get very slow calendar and empty calendar. So we have the PPI for the US dollar. Another event on Friday for the Aussie monetary policy statement. Sterling GDP month on month, important. Manufacturing productions also, and prelim GDP quarter on quarter for the sterling. So Friday is going to be an important London session for the sterling. After that, employment change and unemployment rate for the CAD, CPI for the USD, and core CPI. Very important Friday for sterling, CAD, and USDs to keep an eye at. Yeah. So let's start with the Dixie. And again, guys, I forget to tell you that please hit the like button if you like these sessions, and if you're new to the channel, sorry, do not forget to hit the subscribe button. So please show your support by clicking the like button below the video. Dixie, guys, well, I feel like repeating myself once again. We are still inside this range, as you see, and I will keep saying this is the most important range now to change this. If this midterm to change midterm bullish to change to long-term bullish, we need to break above this area here. 95.15 is the level that the Dixie was not able to close above previous weeks. Last week we closed at 95.16. So yeah, a little bit above that, but still, as you see, I will explain to you what's going on here. This pivot point is the yearly pivot point, a very important level. We do also have the monthly R1 for August up here, and this is the 200 weekly moving simple moving average at the same level, and we do have previous highs as you see here, previous structure as well at this important level. So it is a major area, and that's why we're having troubles here with and going sideways. And as I said, it is summer and we may keep going sideways anyway. Let me take off the yearly pivot now. You know where we are at. So this is the daily time frame, and we've been having this range for a while now. We moved to the upper range and stuck inside this. We do have still bearish divergence on the RSI between this high, and this high. Now this one is lower automatically, so of course it's going to be lower on the RSI. But if we look at these, we are still in a bearish divergence, yeah, expect of this last one. So Thursday, a great push toward 95.15, the most important level in this chart right now. And Friday we ended up as a doji on after the NFP, and that's why I always said NFP is just a hype. You get a break up, you break down, and price went back when it started on the dollar. Nothing happened, and it was a mixed NFP numbers. The earnings was stable, but there is much more to that. So short term, guys, we broke above this important level on the 4-hour, and as I said last week, a break above here will send us toward 1915, where we do expect major resistance, and here we are right now. So it is still very clear and defined range. It seems that the dollar bulls does not give up yet. What could happen here is still that we could push another time to retest this monthly R1 and push lower again, or start moving down to fade back toward this move to the upside. This still also very possible that you get a push down, any break below this previous low will open the door to reach the monthly pivot point, or even lower to test the low of this box. So summer trading, expecting some continuation sideways. Dollar keep pushing higher despite whatever news event we've getting. And as I said, Friday this did not give us any real clue yet. As a daily candle, it ended as a doji. Now we want to see, after making this higher high above this high, if this will continue. So to continue higher, which is possible, we want to see a break above the monthly R1 that will open the door for a very long-term bullish move on the dollar, and we should keep buying the dips. Longer term or daily time frame, sorry, we still bullish, but right now sideways, and we may continue sideways. So keep an eye on that range, guys. Very important range. Gold broke on Thursday below the previous low. Here was important level, and I said to the guys in the room that below here, if we break, we're gonna reach some stop losses, and we're gonna get another push lower, and we really got that. So let's go to the weekly and take a look. So on the weekly, guys, what happened here, we broke this major support. We broke below the 200 moving average, and last week it was a try to break and close below this low. Now the close didn't happen. I would like to see this close below this low here to start thinking that we may reach the 1195 down here before a push higher, but we've got rejected after the NFP. And on the daily it looks something like this, a piercing pattern down here. But what I don't like about it, that we stopped here at this low. I would love to see the support coming down here at this 1195 or around the monthly S1. That didn't happen. Basically, if you look at this chart, daily time frame as well, still bearish inside this channel. As you see, nothing has changed here. Let me fix that a little bit. So we do have this channel right now on the daily going something like this. The price is to the downside, No one can argue that. Weekly time frame also to the downside. Okay, we've got rejection on Friday. That is not enough. So let me check this on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour and the 1 hour, I told the guys in the room that we could expect a retest toward R1 and start looking for bearish evidence for continuation lower. That was before the NFP. Now what happened here, that we pushed higher a little bit. As you see, we reached this very important level, the 1219 area. This is a major level. So on the 4 hour, what happened here? We broke a high here, not a major high, but still. And now we are looking to see if we're gonna get another higher low. This is gonna be very, very important so far, because if gold move a little bit lower down here to retest this neckline area and start pushing higher, that could be something that we can start looking for a possible reversal. Only looking, yeah. It's very, very early to say something else about that, guys. If you want to go long on gold, there is no need to rush here. You need to wait for a break back above the 1220, a retest, and then we can start talking about possible reversal. And Dixie need also to start moving lower. So if we look at the 4 hour time frame, guys, yeah, we've got a nice bounce higher, but still no major high broken even on the 4 hour time frame. Yeah, this is still a bearish market, and it is still a sell the rallies. Keep an eye on 1220 here. This is an important level now. You want to see gold holding above that to have a chance to start moving higher. Yeah, otherwise it is still a sell market, and the first daily high that need to be broken is above the monthly pivot point here, 1235. So if we move higher here above 1220, you could expect a retest toward the monthly pivot point and 1235. That is a major resistance that need to be broken to change this trend to a possible bullish move. Yeah, so keep an eye on that. We're still bearish. Actually, textbook and all the patterns we have is lower lows and lower highs. So textbooks is telling you keep shorting this market. Do you want to short it at this level when the price is so cheap? That is a different questions. Okay, so oil sideways as well. You see we do have this range still valid. Nothing has changed here, and nothing will change until we leave this range. Weekly time frame, we're still making, this was our last high. This could be another higher low and another continuation up. This what is the weekly time frame is telling us. Daily is a little bit different story. We've got a lower low below this one. We've got lower high and lower high, and then we stop making lower lows. So we are going sideways in this range. Nothing will happen until we leave this range. Keep an eye on that. Trade this range. Keep buying the low of the range, selling the high until you have a breakout to the upside or to the downside. So nothing has changed on oil. Do not trade the mid-range. Do not trade the empty areas. Work the edges for now until you see a clear breakout on oil. Aussie Jappy, we had this trade idea here that we probably had a 2618 trade, broke the neckline of the double top, and then what you do in this scenario is you take a Fibonacci retracement from the low to the high, and you go long at the 618 retracement, and that's what we've done in the room. That we didn't really get results yet. We've reached the R1 and got rejected, so there was no continuation up here. As you see, we went back below the entry level, so it is still floating here in red, using the 200 moving average as support. Let me take this off for now. So if we go back to the daily, that was the main idea we've got at 2618. So on the daily, what happened here? We do have this last low and then another higher low, and then we broke above previous high, and that what make me start thinking that now when we broke above this high, wait for a correction and another push higher. Yeah, that was the main idea, and it is still possible. As far as this level is not broken, we still could be using this as support level to move higher, since we broke a higher high here. But it is a little bit, as you see, mid-range now, and it could keep going sideways. So in my opinion, if you're not in a trade here, the better way to play it long term is to look for if we've got a retest to the bottom of the box, to buy that, or if we test this area once again, to sell that. Yeah, I am still having one position left in this trade, and based on that 2618 idea, but I don't really like the look of it. It's making a bearish flag or pennant here, as you see, and yeah, we could just break below this area and keep pushing lower. If we got a break below these lows, then it may open the door toward monthly S1. All I have to do then is close my trade and go short. So there is no need to fight the market. If you are wrong, then all you need to do is change your mind and follow the market sentiment. Aussie New Zealand, that one we've got a great trade at, as I showed you earlier on this after this pennant here. We've got break, retest, continuation. Was a perfect trade here. It was actually on the 1 hour to see it better. So the main trade was this. We've got the break, we bought at the retest, and we targeted this area here first, and then the second trade was on the retest on the R1 before it reached it all the way to the upside. So where we are right now on this Aussie New Zealand, we reached the top range, as you see. So it is a resistance level here. Now last Friday was a major move, and we do have some news for both Aussie and New Zealand next week that could be catalyst for maybe a break above, depends on the number. But as you see here, the 200 moving average been acting as a great dynamic support, still above it. I am willing to think that we may get the breakout. If this happen, if we break above this range on the 4 hour, the retest on lower time frame, and then we'll open the door toward continuation. Yeah, you need to keep an eye on these highs, but in my opinion, we spent a lot of time inside this range. If we got the breakout, it won't be to only test this level. This breakout gonna be with a strong momentum and probably gonna test the extremes highs. But as for now, it is not a buy if you are not already buying down here. It is a level to watch and keep an eye at. As you see, every time we reach that level, we got a nice bounce to the downside. So it could be at least short-term sell level here. But for me, I am more interested to see the breakout, retest, and possibly the continuation. That is for me at least. Aussie USD also reached back down to this important level. Also, we're still inside this range on the pair. As you see here, it is a clear range down here, and the level itself, it is a very, very important level as support. So we have monthly S1, we do have a major structure level that is defended, and if broken, we are going all the way down here. So that's why you keep seeing the bulls pushing at this level. Now last Friday was piercing pattern on Friday, which usually mean possible reversal, but we still have a lot to talk and a lot to see, sorry, in this area. We are now trading at the lows, at the middle of this range, guys. So we probably want to see the market move higher, break above this high before any reversal happen. So the most important thing is keep an eye at this green area down here. This is the major support to the downside, while to the upside we're still not breaking any major highs. This is the first major high that you want to see broken, then it may open the door for more upside. Yeah, if we go back to the daily time frame, we keep having this nice divergence on the RSI going on, so there is a chance that we may push higher now, but why to guess? You see that we still have 1, 2, 3 highs to take care of before any continuation higher. Euro Aussie weekly time frame, we were looking at this possible head and shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder is maybe ongoing right now. As I told you in the weekly overview last week, we had this range we've been stuck in that we should keep an eye at, and if broken that we're gonna move lower. What we also had that we start seeing the highs getting lower and lower for every day that passed, showing the pressure from the bears to the downside, and I was expecting possible break of that range. 4-hour time frame show you the range a little bit better. Here is the break. Yeah, so we broke that, we reached monthly S1, we closed near the lows and at the daily 200 moving average right now. Yeah, so we still have this important structure at this level is still an important level. It is the 1.5600 area. If this really to move lower, we need to break below these lows here, and if that happens, then we are going to test these levels down here. I feel that the euro seems to be very weak, and there is no news event for the currency next week if we do not get any other headlines that help it. But Aussie been at support against the US dollar, and now after we broke below the range, broke below previous low, I still think there is more to the downside, but first we want to see a break below this structure. EuroCAD, and as I told you last week, guys, it was all about retest and continuation. We've got the retest and we've got the continuation. So how does it look like on the weekly time frame? On the weekly time frame, you see that we are going down to retest this major low here. Yeah, and if that broken, that will open the door for a possible move, something like this, an equal measured move maybe to reach the trend line. That would be possible, but still we want to see a break below previous low here. Yeah, so we do have now a major swing with a lower high, and we want to see the major swing low to get broken. That was the weekly. Daily, if we go down to that time frame, you see that we are soon at this level. I don't think this market will stop before taking out these lows. To reach these lows, we're trading below the 200 daily moving average. Very bearish. RSI is oversold, but still I think this market is still sell the rallies, retest of this broken structure probably, and another push to retest these lows down here. Yeah, there is nothing looking left before this level here, where we've got a very nice move to the upside. So if you are holding a short on EuroCAD, keep holding it and keep an eye on this area down here. Euro New Zealand, it is maybe the one that is a little bit late. As you saw, Euro Aussie broke, Euro CAD moving way ahead of all the rest, and now Euro New Zealand been stuck inside this range, but we have the same behavior here. We moving lower and lower with the highs, but the support is still holding. So this seems to be building up a lot of pressure to break this level. When and if this level got broken, we're gonna get a strong momentum move down here to at least the daily 200 moving average and this previous support level. That is my target if we break below the lows here, which I am expecting to happen probably next week. So we had this trade idea on the pair. We reached target 1, we reached target 2 at S1 and IDR low somewhere here in this area. So now I am flat on the pair since we reached this support level. I am more interested in shorting the pair right now, but this could be another time when we reach this level and we've get another bounce higher. So you need to watch this area anyway as a possible support level, but I am actually more interested to see this happen, the break, some kind of correction, and there is a major move to the downside to happen after that. That would be the ultimate trade to do on this one. As I said, we've keep pushing to inside this lower range. So we had this bigger range and now the price is trapped inside this lower range. So keep an eye on this lower range as well. EURUSD, let's go to the weekly. As you see, we've been squeezing here inside the weekly, trading up and down all the way. Last week we broke this triangle, but do not forget where we are heading toward. Yeah, this major range here that we had for a couple of years may got tested now. So if we go down to the daily, you see that this squeeze has ended and the price is about to hit a first support level. The major support level is at this area, the yearly pivot point, and the previous major range here may act as support as well. And if we broke below the yearly pivot point or we break below these lows, then you see that we're gonna enter an area that gonna be so empty and there is so much room to the downside on this one. So what been happening here, we had this high and we start pressing lower, 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 and last Thursday we've got the breakout, and Friday we pushed a little bit lower, closed below this Thursday and below this low. So I'm expecting a little bit more downside toward these areas before any kind of bounce higher. So let's take these off. We were looking for a retest and a continuation. The retest went only toward daily pivot point and then we pushed lower again. And I want to show you one thing, guys, those of you who like to trade the NFP release itself, to really not do so, because every single time this happens you get the spike up, spike down, up again, and most of the time we go back to the where the day started and go to next week. So but on Euro USD this time we've got close back below near the lows. Yeah, so guys, there is still some room to the downside on Euro USD. I am still looking to move toward the yearly pivot point and this previous low down here, at least now when we broke these lows here. So it is still a sell rallies market, and you need to keep an eye on gold. If gold start breaking above that 1220 area, then Euro USD may get some strength based on that. Sterling Aussie, we go to the weekly to show you the importance of this level we are at. As you see, Since we reached the 200 simple moving average on the weekly, we could not break it. We broke the lows and start making lower lows and lower highs on the weekly. And now once again we are back at this major area here, as you see, and we've closed at the lows of previous low here. Bearish engulfing after an inside bar. And on the daily, the price been hugging the 200 moving average. We talked about this level on the weekly overview last week, and as you see, we didn't get a close below this low, but still it was a strong bearish day, and I think we may reach and test these lows as well. For now, let's look at the lower time frame and see if that's possible. Yeah, as you see here, below this low we probably have some stop losses here. If they start getting triggered, then we're gonna test these lows down here. That's almost for sure. And you see that the 200 moving average been acting as very nice dynamic support in the past many times before we broke, retest, another retest, another retest, and here, and even last week after this fake spike up, stop loss hunt, call it whatever you want, on the BOE release, and we broke previous lows. So the 200 moving average on the 4 hour is something that working great right now for the pair. As for now, any push higher could be seen as a possible sell. The rally scenario, if we do that to retest this area, that would be a possible sell the rallies on the pair. Sterling CAD, one of the leading one actually, because it was the one that broke earlier than many other below the 200 daily moving average. We broke that range, and I told you guys on the break of this range, start selling the retest. We sold this retest, and since then it is a short market, and it is still is, especially after breaking below this low. What I'm expecting right now on the longer term, that we may get some kind of ABCD move toward the ends at these lows down here, and that is a major target. We do have this level ahead of that, but as you see below this area there's nothing, and we should see the market testing these areas down here. So it is still a bearish market. Sell the rallies. The question is when we're gonna get some kind of correction. I don't see any of it right now. After the BOE release, as you see, we had this spike and then continued lower. I think as a good possible level to sell, if we get any retest to this structure, that would be the level to sell it from. Or if we keep moving in this space, start looking for these to happen. These some kind of flags or smaller correction or consolidation, and trade the breakouts of those micro ranges. Those works perfectly in these scenarios. When you wait for the range to happen, you wait for the break and the retest. If we go down to 1 hour time frame, you see it more clearly. Yeah, you had this micro range that got broken, retested, boom, another retest to that, and then continuation. Down here you had another micro range you could work with, much smaller one, but still. Start with this one that got broken, retest, continuation, and you had this one as well, as you see. So if the market is moving fast and not getting those deep higher correction, you need to work with these micro range consolidation to be able to trade a fast going market as this one. Sterling JPY. So after making this higher high, now start making lower highs and lower lows. So I think we keep moving lower here to at least test the 14380 down here. So it is still sell the rallies market as well. I would be looking at the retest of this structure here for any possible bearish evidence to keep shorting now when we broke below these lows. Yeah, so that is one thing. You could take a Fibonacci retracement as well and see if you have any confluence. Depends on when this move start correcting. As for now, it is still strongly bearish close, and we should at least test this level, in my opinion. This is the first structure, and we have these two here as another level we probably reach on the pair. Yeah, so sterling USD, let's go to the weekly on that as well. You see here we've been inside this channel for a long time, reached the 200 weekly moving average, could not break, and then boom, all the way down. Now we are testing once again this important support level. What happened here now, what couldn't happen on this week, as you see, we've got the rejection. We never broke and closed below this major area, but last week we did actually broke and close below this level. So this level now for me is broken, and it seems still very bearish in my opinion. Last week or the last couple of weeks we got the retest and continuation. So for next week, this is the last line of defense down here at this level. When this broken, or if this level got broken, then it will open the way to reach this first structure as support level. As you see here, support, resistance, support, support, resistance, support again. So keep an eye on this level. If this broken, you will move all the way down here. That's almost certain for sure. What talk up against this short is this bullish divergence going on. One could argue that this could be a start of a double bottom here, something like this, and a bounce higher. I will not argue against that. That may happen. We do have the level is important structure. We do have the bullish divergence on the RSI. So keep an eye on that as well. But if we close below this daily close, we most probably gonna reach this level if that happens. So that is what you need to look at for the sterling. If you want to long sterling, based on that divergence and stuff like that, then guys, you need to see the price trading above the 200 moving average on the 4 hour. Yeah, as you see, once again, here, 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 and here, been acting as dynamic resistance. Yeah, so you need to see a close and continuation above that to talk about a longer term reversal. Otherwise, we're still bearish, and if we start getting a break above the BOE low here, we may get something like this, and you should be targeting the monthly pivot point and this structure, because this is gonna be a trouble area. If that broken, then we could start talking of a possible reversal to the upside. As for me, I will use this 200 on the 4 hour as my filter to go long. Anything else below that, I will keep shorting the pair. New Zealand USD, we're still testing this major and important level. As you see, this is the weekly time frame. It is a major structure, and we should keep an eye on that support. On the daily, we are inside this box. Nothing will happen until we leave that. Below this structure, then we are going down for a much longer term to reach these lows. Otherwise, it is now at the buy level. Monthly S1, Friday was an indecision boji candle, divergence on the RSI, bullish divergence. For our time frame, this as well been using the 200 on the 4 hour. Resistant, support, support, broken, now resistant again when tested. So on this particular time frame, we've got a nice bounce on this range that we've been trading for a while now. If we get another retest to this level and bullish evidence on 1 hour time frame, you could try a buy toward the monthly pivot point, and that could be the level when you should start seeing trouble. So keep playing the range. For a reversal to the upside, we need to close outside of this range. For a continuation to the downside, we need to close below these lows here on the daily time frame. Very easy, nothing to guess. USD CAD weekly time frame, guys. This channel, you remember it, we've got rejected. Now we broke an inner trend line here on the weekly, reached the 1.300, a very important level. We closed actually below that last week, as you see here on the daily. So the close was at 1.2990, so we closed below that, but we're still at this support. There was no strong close below this area. That's what I want to see, a close below these lows here to open the door toward 1.28, and probably a retest to the daily 200 moving average or the lows of the channel. It is still looking bearish despite a strong Dixie. CAD is still strong against it. Last week the CAD was the strongest currency, and as I said, despite a strong Dixie, the CAD still doing well, at least this couple of weeks. So what I am looking for next week is if we're gonna break below this little range here. As you see, the high is getting lower, so work this micro range, guys, as your filter line. So what you want to see is a break, then all you need to do is sell the retest targeting 128. That is what I'm looking for this pair. If we manage to stay above and start trading above these highs here, then there is a possibility that we test monthly pivot point, or probably the 200 moving average on the 4 hour. That been acting support, and then when we are below it, it's been acting as resistant. USD Chief, let's go to the weekly on this one as well. Madness, choppy, very not easy traded because the range is not very defined. As you see, we push higher, we push lower, we bouncing around. Daily as well, we've got this move lower, and then we had a little bit of a range, then broke above it to retest these highs, start making lower lows and lower highs once again. Friday we pushed higher, but still considered a lower high on the pair. So after this push, I was expecting retest, continuation up. We've got the NFP, but it didn't do much down, up as many other ones. So this was the NFP release candle. We pushed lower, we pushed back up toward where we started the day almost, and still the 200 moving average on the 1 hour been acting as good support so far. As for this pair to continue higher, we need to see a break above this area. Otherwise, you see here on the 4 hour we broke this trend line, and on the daily we still have lower low and lower high, so one could also expect possibly a push toward these lows, but all depends on how the Dixie does in gold. If euro keep moving lower and gold start pushing lower again from that resistance, then this may continue higher to the upside. Yeah, we have this some kind of flag here that one could argue that it is broken now. It is not the easiest one right now, but still could be trade based on if we break above this monthly pivot point on the 4 hour. If we break above this once again, there is a possibility to continue higher, especially if we break above this high. As you see, that could be push higher like this structure to the upside. USD JAPY, what happened here? Here is also a very interesting thing. I think the 50 moving average is the one to look at for this pair on the daily. As you see, this red one here been acting as good dynamic support, and now it is going a little bit flat, and we had this trend line as well to work with. So weekly time frame, guys, what we have: higher high, higher low, higher high. Still no major lows broken to talk about major reversal. The 200 been reached at the weekly and got rejected, and last week, as you see, it was inverted hammer week. Daily time frame, we broke below this structure, which was very, very important. We've got the retest and another push lower. So we start seeing the bulls losing momentum, but still this is not, we could not say the trend is over yet. What would make me say the trend is over is a daily close below this structure, and even more, a daily close below the 200 moving average to really say that this trend is over. But as for now, take it one step at a time. You see that we do have a possible continuation to the downside. Keep an eye. We broke this low here. Keep an eye on this 110.60 is the last low, or this structure here. That could be once again the level that you're gonna find any kind of bounce to the upside. And if we break below that, then we may start hitting much lower toward 110 as first trouble level. And as you see, the second and major support is 108.50 once again. Before that, we do have this structure here at 109.50, around that level, as also a possible support. So it's not so easy to predict right now. We broke above these highs, we made higher high, and now we're making lower lows and lower highs on the 4-hour time frame. So be cautious, but after this strong push, we've got an equal push of the bears. So that is maybe is telling us the bulls did lose their momentum after such a strong move to correct all the way back down almost 100%. And now a lower high emerged. So once again, if it breaks below here, that is very serious that we may move lower, and we should keep an eye as well on those trade war headlines. Sorry, those are the major thing to look at for the pair right now. Dow weekly, you see that we do have the 50 moving average as our support level, and as for now, still a bullish market, longer term sideways as for now. As you see, a little bit of a sideways, but still bullish. Daily, we're gonna use the 200 moving average as the major support level. As you see, been rejected every time we tested, but here we played around it, then broke above that. This was our support level last week. This arrow here was a trade that I called in our trading room, that a retest to this structure gonna give the price a troubles at this level and a push higher, and that exactly what we got. So daily time frame, still a bullish after this rejection here, and yeah, we probably gonna test these highs once again. And what make me say so is if we're gonna take a look at the S&P 500, you see that this market is ahead of the Dow, and also we've got a retest and a bounce higher. Yeah, still higher highs and higher lows, and we could be in some kind of another move to, if we break these highs, to test the all-time high once again before a possible reversal. So let's go back to that Dow chart and see that we broke above these highs, and after this rejection close above the day above Thursday here, that the mean we may getting another push higher. So keep an eye, if you're holding along, keep an eye on, you should be targeting these highs, and if we get any retest to this level, that would be a possible buy area, and the target is of course previous highs once again. That was for the Dow for next week, and that means that we reached the last market. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, guys, please, if you do like this session, do not forget to hit the like button, and if you are new to this channel, do subscribe to get the notification. Thanks a lot for being here, and see you next week. Bye bye.